riddance. Good riddance. Good riddance. But we're back.
Yeah.
And we're always available on 3FM927. That's our Twitter page. I tweet at Hughes_on-air. That's HUGHES_on-air. Our WhatsApp lines are active as well, and you can always join us on the phone lines there. Well, we'll work the lines to get Felicity Hafianyo to join us on the phone lines to give us WhatsApp for the weather. The children are going back to school, Crosby, this morning. They're going back to school. Well, they vacated not so long ago. It's about 1 week or so ago. They're going back to school. This year, I understand they'll be vacating 4 times in the year.
Was it a holiday? Was it holidays or it was vacation?
Well, shall we not call it vacation? Because I mean, it signals the end of a term and the beginning of another.
And that was a week's break.
And you know what's going to happen now is that now they're reopening. Maybe by Wednesday, Thursday, they would have to knock off again, go for Easter and come back.
Yes.
What are we doing to our children?
You know, the preparations we're giving to them to face the future, the uncertainties in their education, I think it will come back to hurt us one day. Maybe not now, but in the future, we'll see a huge gap in the levels or the quality of knowledge we impacted into them. Because clearly, it looks structured, but it is not structured at all.
I don't think that there's structure because, you see, how do you review the curriculum for children and not have textbooks that are requisite to whatever it is that they are learning? I don't think that is fair to begin with. And then we all know the benefits of resting.
Exactly.
Okay, to teaching and learning.
Yeah.
And how much rest are we giving these children? And then also we come to the point of nutrition. School feeding program. It has become what it is.
So they are not teaching them well because they don't have textbooks. The students are not learning well because they don't have textbooks.
Right.
They are not eating well because there are no proper foods.
Thank you.
They are not rested well because the breaks are not
because
wise
whoever is
enough.
supposed to be doing the calendar. So we are messing up the future. Literally, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you find that those who make these policies or formulate these policies do not have their children in the schools. I mean, that's the sad aspect of the whole conversation.
Well, they have their kids in well-structured schools, well-structured environments.
Sometimes not even in Ghana.
Yes. So they do not feel the impact of the things we're doing. And then just as being the convention, if you like, their children will be the ones who in the near future will come and they will also want to repeat the same things they're doing because they did not experience it. They do not know
they have
how
the template.
dire. Yes, they'll just follow a written down template that did not work because they didn't see it. And then those who experienced it, who have the experience to want to change it, do not have, the power, the ability to do that. It's just a cycle that we find ourselves in, and it's like they really do not care about anything.
Well, the publisher newspaper this morning says at 6:21 a.m. on Monday morning, April 3, Ethia Tenge resigns. Very, very amazing policewoman. She's resigned. Police team under attack over alleged extortion, gun seized, uniform removed, court remands the attackers. A policeman was begging for his life, literally. And Ursula Honest, mother with ICT hub and a library. Gay leader boasts of huge numbers in Ghana. What do you have there, Crosby?
The Daily Guide newspaper on the front page, NPP decides on presidential race. It comes with a picture of Stephen Ntim, the chairman of the party. We also have Health Service revokes Okobeng's award and Axim Corps caught in Galamsey drama. Page 3 of the paper. A police officer seen on his knees begging Galamsey boys who accuse him of extortion. NLA staff busted over fraud, and I'll pay constituency workers under my leadership. Dr. Kwabna Dufour is saying on the middle page, new taxes to raise 4 billion cedis.
Okay, we'll get to that. The Anchor newspaper this morning says Western Region Galamsey superstar grabbed as Ghana Health Service revokes Okobeng Mines CEO's Partnership Award. Dying MP driven in ambulance to Parliament to do or die voting after ghastly car accident. I'm still wondering why that happened and whether or not he did not have relatives at all. Irate illegal miners hold police hostage. Troubled officers kneel down, beg for their lives, but gang arrested. Takwa MP condemns attack on Golden Star Mines. Health Ministry gets clearance to employ 6,387 nurses.
The Daily Graphic has a lot of stories from Parliament. It says Parliament passes 3 revenue bills. It comes with a picture of the Speaker of Parliament. There's also a picture of the EC chairperson, Jean Menton. The story is Ad Guarantor System. MPs against sole use of Ghana card for voter registration. Political analysts, smaller parties agree. There's also free SHS policy must focus on skills development. Professor Essiman is saying, and BPA, Wheat Sugar Limited set up 1D, 1F sugar factory. Center spread of...
Speaking of that, you know that the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, told us that Commander Sugar Factory was going to be fully operational by last year, April. 1 full year has come, April Fool.
And then the guts not to come and explain to us
or
why
even apologize.
Exactly.
We've been taken for granted. You know, for me, I think that it stems from some level of timidity that we were brought up with. I don't want to say in every home, but in most of our Ghanaian homes, you know, he's not wrong. You know, and even if the elder person is messing up,
you really
we're okay with it. I mean, you make a promise to the people. You are not going to do it with your own pocket money. You then are not able to deliver on the promise. The good thing to do is to come back to say, oh, I said I was going to do A, B, C, and D. I've not been able to do it because of Y, X, Y, Z. Finish. How difficult is that?
And then the thing is, Ghanaians, like a lot of commentators say that Ghanaians are not angry enough, and to a certain extent, I think it is very true. There's a level of anger already in the system, but it has not gotten to the point where it demands a certain level of attitudinal change.
Right.
And then, just like Martin Pigou will say in a book he likes to refer to, the Plato's Republic, he says there's no nation or constituent who have been able to, board or hold on to anger and discontentment for long. Whatever happens, one day,
you'd let it go.
It will explode.
But the point is this: the people sometimes we speak for, do they find reason to speak for themselves as well? I mean, I think that's where the problem is. So teachers will come to you behind the back doors. They will leave their union leaders and come to you and say, oh, Charlie, Johnny, you don't have to say this for you. They provide the documents and everything else. But do they find time to speak for themselves? Are they willing to come public to say, this is what our situation is? I think they should.
The effect of them coming public to do it is what scares them. You know, when a society, whatever happens, they'll be victimized. Remember when Free Senior High School came at first, the head teachers, they had to make interventions for their schools to stay afloat, and then if they do that, government is coming after them, the education ministry is coming after them because they didn't expect them to tell the students to go and bring this, go and bring that. So usually the levels of victimization, the consequences they may suffer if they come out of themselves to complain is hard. You remember when we were speaking about the Operation Clean Your Frontage tax force not being paid?
Right.
And then we spoke with one of the tax force beneficiaries. And then the next day he was being attacked by his own colleagues. That why did he come on radio to say the things he said? Doesn't he know that he's disgracing the government and all of that?
I think that, and we always will ask the question, what is the criteria for selecting some of these people for some of these schemes? NAPCO, Youth and Afforestation, before that YEA, all of those ones. I mean, across the political divide, we all know, and yet we pretend that these are not jobs for the boys and party people. So they could have multiple reasons. Some have even said that they fear that these Operation Clean Your Frontage people, having been given military training, could be used in 2024 elections and all of that. We've heard that because now the bigger conversation is let the soldiers go back to the barracks. If the soldiers go back to the barracks and the vigilantes have been disbanded, who next are you going to use to do what you have to do? Now that the police are kneeling to beg, the police are being chased out, it's embarrassing. And it is because some of these things are always left in the hands of political people and politically exposed individuals. They think that when you articulate the challenges they are going through, then you are embarrassing their party. I've had a minister of state tell me that literally Ogbem party, as if you have messed up my party. He doesn't see himself as being the leader of of the people. He doesn't see himself as a servant. For him, in his mind, it's party first.
I mean, you have a presidential aspirant who says he wants to help the party. That's why he wants to become president. He wants to contribute to the NPP. That's why he wants to become president. If this is the mindset or the thinking of somebody who wants to become president, not an MP, not a minister, not a DC, president of the nation. He wants to become president because of the party. Then I think, we've gotten to the peak of the frustrations. I mean, we can't go any further than we are. We can only branch to different directions, but at the top we're done.
Well, the Republic Press this morning says MPs boot Ghana card CI. The Electoral Commission has been asked to bring it back. Parliament on Friday, 31st March 2023 has, by unanimous decision, rejected the Electoral Commission's constitutional instrument, which sought to make the Ghana card the sole registration document for voting. This comes following presentation of a report of the Committee of the Whole on the draft public elections registration of voters regulation 2023 and other related matters, which indicated that the House's position not to accept provisions of the proposed CI. So the committee, having thoroughly interrogated the issues and reforms being contemplated by the Electoral Commission, would like to reiterate its support for any effort that would enable every Ghanaian to get a Ghana card, because it is the law. And Pebu dumps gays. He says they are big lawyers who are also gays, who he knows should come and speak for themselves. Ifyatenge Shocks Police Service resigns after 18 years. Did you know that Ifyatenge used to work in a 3 newsroom?
Did she?
Oh, you didn't know, I'm telling you.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Ghana allays fears of investors on the risk myths in Africa. Chinese investors to build sugar factory in Ghana. And motor accident claims life of level 230 injured at Larabanga. That's what we have. Your paper is done.
I'll take you to the Business and Financial Times. It says key step to IMF deal achieved, but industry side risk to business. We're talking about the 3 revenue bills. There's also improved liquidity could see FSF support banks recapitalization efforts. GRA to commence phase 1 of e-VAT system for 600 businesses, and Priority Insurance gets new general manager. Prince of Monaco invites Dr. Akka to Monaco private summit.
The Custodian newspaper this morning says Methodist Church welcomes ex-Boys Brigade member Baomiawe Joy. Also, the District Assembly Common Fund sharing formula for 4.55 billion Ghana cedis approved by elections in Kumawu. Parliament passes 4 billion Ghana cedis revenue bills. MPP delegates will choose Baomia as flag bearer, according to Kwabena Kokofo of the EPA. Dr. Baomia is in Ramadan. He's jubilating. It's quite interesting. Politicians, what they can do. The Finder newspaper, Methodist Church welcomes former Boys Brigade member Baomiawe Joy. Tenge resigned. IMF deal revenue bills passed. Last hurdle is bilateral Eurobond creditors agreement. Pay the people home. Ken Oforiatta. YEA CEO, alumni of Kumasi High, inspires students, and Karaga MP Dr. Amin Adam supports 600 women with interest-free loans. Also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, gangsters attack police's magazine, not the magazine that we read, of course. Mobile phones for grabbed. Speaker declares Kumawu seat vacant. I will prioritize party needs. Dr. Dufour. 3 newly passed tax bills to rake in 4 billion annually, and Christians mark Palm Sunday with palm fronds, palm soup, and palm wine. William Esiedu is here joining us. Good morning, William. How are you doing? Why did you nod at the palm wine?
He had to add palm wine.
Yeah.
The Christians drink palm wine yesterday.
Say again.
The Christians, they drank palm wine yesterday.
But what kind of people drink palm wine?
Oh, that's what they don't drink alcohol at all.
Yeah. I didn't say all of them. I'm saying that.
Say Christians. So
yes. But if you're William, don't you drink palm wine?
No, I do.
Are you not a Christian?
I am.
Crosby, don't you drink palm wine?
No, I don't.
You don't. I drink palm wine. I'm a Christian.
How you did?
I did. We did inside. Small. The bed was beginning to capture me. I didn't want that. I was supposed to return on Tuesday, but the bed was beginning to capture me, Charlie. You don't want to be caught in there as well. But hey, here we go. This issue of gangsters attacking police, did the police bring this upon themselves? I'm thinking, and having seen the video, I thought it was the most embarrassing thing perhaps to have happened, especially if our police keep giving us the indication that whatever operation they embark upon is intelligence based. Now, if you embark upon an intelligence based operation, you would not at some point be overpowered by people who, I mean, literally the man was kneeling and begging. And they threw in an allegation of extortion and bribery, and that even makes the situation murkier. And somebody told me yesterday that, look, the moment you give people an opportunity to get into your inner circle and closer circle, forget about it. You cannot back anymore. And that for me was what we saw. It looks like what we saw, because the matter is under investigation. Let me say, it looks like what we saw in that video. A policeman, this is a weapon, and we are all talking about gun running in the sub-region. That's an AK-47, which private individuals are not supposed to have. There are too many angles to this same issue.
I think that the embarrassment in this is the allegations of extortion by the police officer. So it looks as if they are a group of friends, and this is something the police officer has been doing on a regular. So he goes to them, collects money, bribes, gifts. I mean, they help each other. But then in this circumstance, it looks like the police officer, after doing the illegality, wanted to do something legal by maybe taking them to a station.
How do you collect my money? Finish, I want to put me.
And then in a situation where, they were overnumbered, so eventually they had to be overpowered, and then he had to beg for his life. But begging for his life.
Boss, but you
exactly.
So I pay gate fee, you are bouncing me.
But begging for his life, I think, a lot of security analysts are saying this is the right thing that he did. He realized the situation was in. He needed to preserve his life first to tell a story another day. So he kneeling to beg for his life is fair enough. But how he got there is the problem.
Because you see, in the run-up to begging for his life, there were some dealings which were not captured on tape. And these are the hoodlums capturing this on tape, and they even had the effrontery to share.
They felt so.
At some point, they even, one of the police officers took something, I think, to serve as evidence or whatever it is. And then they asked them to drop it. And then he dropped it. This is how we have embarrassed ourselves too. Why?
So for me, two things that, lead to some of these things. Two things. The practice where the police take money. It's become a known culture at all levels, no matter who you are. As soon as the police arrest you or stop you, that inkling to give them money comes up. We should be frank. So the police and the civilians, or even like the public, they have that kind of
money relationship.
Sometimes Saturday you are going to a funeral or something, along the way you see a lot of cars parked and negotiations are going on. That's number one. Then number two, a situation where Ghanaian police, this one is a fact. They arrest before they investigate. Elsewhere they will investigate before they come for you. So if you investigate properly before you come for the person, you arrest the person. And you are that powerful when you are arresting the person. But the little thing, they say, go to the station.
Sometimes you are invited.
They don't even charge you.
You are invited, you are there. There are people who stay in 3 days.
No, but even the law allows only 48 hours.
Yes, but I'm saying there are people who stay in a week.
Yes.
And what, for me, the painful part is not about the 1 cedi 80 pesos that we feed our inmates with. If you are caught and put in a police cell, nobody feeds you.
Yeah.
So if you have nobody to come and give you small cocoa in the morning, or nobody to check up on you, you are there, you are on your own at the mercy of whatever harsh conditions you find yourselves in. And for me, it goes back to the recruitment processes. As a country, we still charge people who want to serve. There have been wild allegations of people having paid sums of 5,000, 10,000, some 15,000 just to join the security services. If an individual pays so much to join, he would want to do everything he can to recoup whatever investment is made. For all you know, he went to borrow the money. I mean, he went to borrow the money. He's in there for maybe 10 years. If you think he has left after 18 years, everybody was looking at her with bright eyes, thinking that, look, if you think he was going all the way to the top because she had the potential, she was good. But that's 18. She said, look, I'm okay. I want to go home. I'm not saying that she did that, but I'm suggesting that there are people who get in there just because they don't have jobs, and they think that this is a sure way to get something to do. And then the political police, the proper police, the protocol police. How do you run a security institution, not just the police, all across, and they say, oh, this list is a protocol list from somewhere. Whether or not they meet the criteria, they must be in there. How?
And we've had this,
and then you find a policeman on say a SWAT team with K-legs. Doing what?
we have instances where top police officers have been indicted for engaging in recruitment scams, you know.
Sorry,
we've had instances where top police officers have been indicted in this employment scam and enlistment scams. And well, as we are also bashing the police, we should also be encouraging the government or the state to also give them what they need to do their way, because elsewhere, the police will arrest you. They will drive behind your car to the station. But now they will come and sit in your car. They're danger.
Yeah.
Because there was a case around the Kasua area there when the police attempted to sit in somebody's car and just drove and literally killed them in an unregistered.
Another case around the Pokwasi area, the motor rider who died. Yes.
Yeah. So these are things that also expose the police and their welfare. I mean, as we speak against some of the things they do, we should also.
Oh no! As for their welfare issues, we always trumpet them. But you see, William,
somebody's coming to arrest you, and you have to go and take a taxi, and you have to then it compromises.
William, but in this in this particular case, there's no taxi scenario.
No, I'm not talking about this case.
This is I want us to finish chewing this one. We can do the extended conversation.
No, but
there's a service vehicle bought with our money, a service vehicle fueled with our money, a uniform sold for them with our money, an AK-47 procured for them with our money, cartridges or bullets bought for them with our money, and then we send them to a place to go and effect their arrest, or whether they went on their own, whatever it is. The police has not explained that. Meanwhile, they have accommodation which is paid for by us. So there are so many things that come into it. I mean, after we're giving you all of these resources to make sure that you are comfortable and okay, how then do you go into the bush and the very people who are hurting us in the name of Galamsey, destroying our water bodies, destroying our farms, destroying the ozone layer, destroying our forest cover and everything else, you go and you start negotiating with them to collect their monies? That's what I want us to look at.
I want to look at two things in this instance, in the police situation. So first, the police service, they have done well with the swiftness they are handling this issue with. Another I want to look at is the brazen authority of Galamsey operators. So this guy wearing the military cap or something, he was able to enter into the police vehicle, put the engine off, and then took the key of the vehicle. Now he's also holding guns and all of that. Security experts are saying that the Galamsey operators, illegal miners, they are changing the country's security arrangement. They are changing the country's security structure. And it is true. Some say you go into Galamsey for a month, for 2 months, and then your psyche will change, your thinking will change, everything about you will change, because you cannot be involved in this act and still be a normal human being that the country can depend on. So to a certain extent, it is true that, this Galamsey is not only affecting the environment and all of that, it is also affecting the psyche, the thinking, the morality of the individuals.
Wherever there's money, Crosby, wherever there's money and there's some spirituality and then there's some power, people's psyche will change. I mean, you may not like somebody, but once he has money and you are in need of money, it takes just a few people to say, look, I have principles. And so I will not yield to this individual. I want to see how this matter goes, because you see, we have done Operation Galam Stop, Operation Vanguard, Operation Halt 1 and 2. That's the last time we were told that we have a renewed fight against Galamsey. We have invested all the money into it. Drones. We have drafted people from Ghana Immigration Service, Ghana Police Service, the military.
People have died because of
Galamsey. People have kidney, liver, other medical conditions because of Galamsey. So Galamsey is not something that we must just sit and stare and watch. And if you listen to the brazen tone in which the gentleman spoke,
he nearly slapped the guy, the police officer.
Yes,
we're begging him not to slap him.
Begging him not to slap him. What was his name? Is it Machoya or something like this? Then he said, and he even had the effort to come and do a video to explain himself that he works with the police. I mean, if you're an informant,
and then the police guys send you a minute, like beating his chest and say, send you a minute.
Charlie, the way me and you they do the nation, where now you won't do me. Well, Charlie. Anyway, well, we're here. Our prioritized party needs. That's what I've been doing for. Says we'll prioritize party needs.
There's another sad story on the back page of the BNFT. It says education sector loses 5.7 billion cedis in 5 years. So it is because between the period of 2018 and 2023, an amount enough to eliminate over 5,500 schools under trees. This is because capping the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, is the statutory funding source for the provision of education infrastructure in 2018 has led to the sector losing that money, which would have been key to the provision of desks for basic schools, textbooks for new curriculums and classroom blocks for deprived community schools. The 2017 earmarked funds capping, it also contributed to that to reduce inflows of the sector, and the current review of the earmarked Act that seeks to increase the cap to 70% will further worsen the infrastructure situation in most schools across the country.
I don't know why we decided to cap GET Fund. William, do you know? The GET Fund.
You were in the meetings.
Of all the things that we want to cap, GET Fund, I've always said that security, education, health, agric, and the economy. These are areas that we must never ever politicize. Because the moment you start politicizing it, you have somebody who gets in there whose main motive is that he wants to be president of Ghana because he wants to lead his party. And then at the end, he will do Amana economics. You know, and for me, I don't think that it augurs well for us. I don't actually think that it augurs well for us at all. Well, Benis Achopi Abra says, welcome back, Johnny. Thank you so much indeed. And Beatrice says, so Austin Abuaji says that guy Kwame in the video gave all the details of what transpired on the day yesterday at LCL TV with Kevin Taylor. The police is framing the guy up, you mean. Jacob Kofi Kodo says, welcome, bro. Thank you very much indeed. And Aaron Babako Kokomisa says, good morning to you. The police as an institution was established to maintain peace, order, and to protect lives and property within our traditional communities. The Ghana Police Service, to a large extent, has done more than good, aside from taking 1 CD, 2 CDs, and 5 CDs from drivers. My point is that we, the young adults and the other age groups, must do anything possible to protect the integrity of the police, that is by not attacking them in any form, because they have been established to serve our interest, but not their interest. Benis says, Johnny, please, people living in Jolu, Boem at Oti region don't have potable water for drinking. Please help them. I'll tell Kofi Adams about this one. But you can also join our 1.7K live views on Facebook presently as we speak. 1.7K live views on Facebook now. You can also join us at 3FM 927. Remember, Johnny's Bite is up next at 6:50. But the cylinder recirculation module is a brand new initiative for the